but there's 4 practices of dialogue that even if you're not in a formal dialogue with someone, are really useful tools for better communication. And the first is listening. And I think, again, all of these terms, we have an idea in our head already. I know what listening is. But in the context of dialogue, listening is stilling all that inner noise. So it's all the things that prevent you from really hearing. So, it's the judgments in your head, like, I can't believe they said that. Or, I wonder if my partner picked up the kids from daycare, or what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Or did I manage to send that email? Whatever it is, all that noise. It's about stilling that noise so that you can really listen. Mm-hmm. And then the second one is about suspending. And when we say suspending in the context of dialogue, people think of suspending judgment, but what judgment is a profound sense that you're right about something. So suspending is really about letting go of your need to be right. And most of us, from our schools, from our families, from the jobs that we've had, have this deeply ingrained desire to be right, because that's how we get approval, right? So who knows the answer? I do. Well done, you get a gold star, right? So having the answer has become very important in our society. But when we think we have the answer, we're not open to anything else. So, it's about saying, okay, I might have part of the answer, but can I open to the fact that maybe there's 10% more I can learn? So it's, stilling the inner noise. It's letting go of that need to be right about things. Then the third one is respecting, which is, again, people have different meanings, but in the context of dialogue, it's about a genuine belief that everyone has something to teach you. And it's your job to figure out what it is. Because if you don't really believe someone has something to teach you, you're not listening and you're not suspending. And then the final one is voicing. And voicing isn't just about speaking. It's about sharing your perspective of the elephant at a time and in a way that it's most likely to be heard by other people. So, sometimes people say, no, I'm voicing, but what I'm doing is I'm throwing grenades, well, this is what I think, but it's not in a way that it's going to be heard. It's not at a time that it's going to be heard. It's all it's going to do is create an explosion. And so voicing is really that art. And I think it is an art of really figuring out, how do I speak to someone else's listening? Is this the right time? Is what I want to say just because I want to hear myself speak, or because I want to be acknowledged? Or am I really adding something new to whatever we're talking about? And so it's playing with that combination of tools, which are all interrelated. And I think if you work on those, it will improve your communication thousandfold. I mean, for me, those tools are the best parenting skills, for example, that I ever had. It just transformed my relationship with my children. So I think that's it. They're simple tools, but not necessarily easy. And then the other point, which you mentioned earlier, Stephanie, is about the emotional regulation. So, can I get to understand in my body when my nervous system has been triggered, because in that state, I'm not going to have good communication. And can I work with my body and my breath to bring my nervous system back into regulation so that I can engage in a more meaningful way? Because I think that's the other thing that trips up our conversation a lot, is we get emotionally triggered.
Absolutely.
And then the grenades start coming again. So I don't know if that's helpful.
That is, for sure,
But I think those are very important tools. There's also a book called Nonviolent Communication, which is brilliant. Can't remember the author, but I think it's Rosenberg.
Okay, cool.
And that's a brilliant book if anyone really wants to do a deep dive into productive communication.